It is written during Revelation that the 12 angels were named after the 12 tribes of Israel. So in the story Star Witness, Jesus is the grandson of God. Why? Because his father Joseph, whom is an angel, laid with the daughters of man. Therefore, Jesus is the son of man. So God created man, then man have babies. So let's read. Now Israel loved Joseph more than all his children, and by now we all know that Israel is God himself, and his habitation is in Zion. For Jehovah is more in love with the gates of Zion than all the tabernacles of Jacob, and Jacob is just another name for Jehovah himself. And respecting Zion, it will be said, each and every one was born in her. For the Lord hath chosen Zion, he hath desired it for his habitation. And who is the Lord? The Lord hath chosen Jacob for unto himself, and Israel for his peculiar treasure. So let's see who's the king of Zion.
And became regent. He became emperor on November 2nd, 1930, and was crowned Haile Selassie I, King of Kings, King of Zion, conquering lion of the seed of Judah.
So the king of Ethiopia is the king of Zion, and he's real.
But that is smart, intelligent, and outspoken. Next thing they say, bird and rich get broken. Hey, must me die joking. Then me say, your body was smoking. Next thing they say, stop and get me talking. Lord of God, listen to when me cooking. So me say, again, real.
Jah is real. And remember, his name is Jacob. So listen to this.
In the book of Matthew, chapter 1, verse 16, according to Matthew, Mary's father-in-law is called Jacob.
Now, who is Jacob? For the Lord hath chosen Jacob unto himself. So, if Jesus is a grandson of God, that means Mary's father-in-law is Jacob, who goes by the name of...
You get it? However, in the book of Luke, chapter 3, verse 23, according to Luke, Mary's father-in-law is not called Jacob, but rather Heli.
Haile. His name is Haile, Jah Jehovah Selassie I, the real.
Pope Leo X in the year 1515 said these words. I quote him. What profit hath not this fable of Christ brought to us? End of quote. Now, allow me to transliterate that. Here's what the man said. Look at how much money we've made from this tale about a figure that we created called Jesus Christ.
Because Jesus was never Christ. Jesus is the son of Christ. They're just changing around the stories.
Africa for Africans, at home and abroad. That was the cry. Not Africans for Nigerians that didn't even exist until the British created it in 1915. And Flora Shaw, the mistress who would become the wife of Frederick Lugard, came up with the name nigger area. Not this false national consciousness that has been imposed on Africans around the world. So that when the Portuguese found shrimp on West Africa and then named it for the Portuguese word for shrimp, Cameroon, it is not true that they are shrimp despite the fact that the people call themselves Cameroonians today.
They changed the past to create your future. By the end of the day, they're figuring out they could be wrong.
This is a controversial thing to say, but I will say it again. The majority of those who claim to be Muslim have doubts about the detail contained within the revelations within the Quran.
Because we all know that the Ethiopian original tongues was first. Then approximately over 300 years after it was written, then they started calling themselves Jewish and others started calling themselves Muslims. So of course the Quran is last. So it goes the Bible to the Torah to the Quran. But anyway.
In 1963, when they created the Organization of African Unity,
Headed by Emperor Haile Selassie I in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia.
During that meeting, they demanded the creation of an Africa that spoke with one voice, an Africa that was united. That journey is yet to be finished. What is happening in Burkina Faso, in Mali, in Niger, is just the beginning of a revolution that is way past due for Africa.
Revelation, by definition, means revolution. So towards the end of times, there will be a revolution.
Here in the book of Acts, at the beginning, he says that he is a man approved of God by miracles and wonders and signs, which God did, he didn't do it. So he's the way. No other. He said, look, the only information Peter had was this man Jesus. And he's right. He said, look, if they want another way, he was the one who's fulfilling the laws of Moses.
Because Jesus is the son of Moses, so of course he got to follow his father.
I would say the Africans and the American Negroes have turned out to be an extraordinarily gifted people. I am an American, born there. My father slaved there. Upon the backs of my people was developed the primary wealth of America, the primary wealth. You have to have accumulated wealth to start, to build. You did it another way here in Australia. You had to build your accumulated wealth too. You just came and took it. You know what I mean? And that's what they did in most of the countries. It's what you Europeans did. You just took it. We got to catch up with you a little bit.
They took it and changed the stories. But we're to the end, so...
The controversy that one in Babylon. Them was separate Melchizedek word. I tell you your word. Selassie is the word. You better observe. Think me a herb. Just because me humble, me cool and